As you say, there's so much change going on. It's a little bit of a whirlwind. I think in some ways it's always been the art and the science of marketing, but perhaps these days the science and the data, the availability to us is making that equation a little bit more balanced. And the whole advent of digital has raised marketers' expectations of what is measurable, what is possible, what is accountable, and I think that is affecting therefore more traditional channels like TV and print and radio. But I think it's also important to remember the element of human judgment of the craft and of the creative effectiveness as well, and never to lose sight of the combination is the best thing.
Because addressable could become too addressable almost, perhaps. I mean, well, like, what's the balance, and particularly for consumer products like Campbell, between sort of addressing an audience and having a more broader sort of brand reach?
I mean, I think it's always about fitting the tool to the task, and when you have big businesses and big audiences and multiple challenges, different things will do different things for you. And so I think TV is becoming a bit like digital, because digital is not one thing. It can perform many different jobs, there's many different screens, many different pros and cons. And I think what's interesting is TV now is going the same way. So I can still buy big mass reach as I always have, but when necessary I can add addressable, I can add regional, I can add agility. So I think it's forcing you to be more thoughtful and more strategic about the role of TV.
And what about attribution models? We hear a lot that there's a lot of demand for that. What does that mean to you, and what is attribution, and what does return on investment mean now maybe than it used to?
That could be a whole day and a whole session, and as you know, there are events all around the globe tackling that very question. I think for us, attribution is just having a better sense that the right message is reaching the right person, and getting that person down to maybe the smallest possible unit feasible. Maybe it'll never be one-to-one the way the direct mail was, but increasingly to that kind of model. I think is the sort of the holy grail, and that's what all marketers want to do, but operationalizing it and overcoming all the platform challenges and data challenges and mindset challenges is a huge step. So, and therefore in that model, ROI has so many different meanings, from the traditional marketing mix to ROAS, and you know, we could have that measurement debate for a good long time, but I think it's all the messy middle, and maybe at the end, you know, we're going to realize it's not going to be one measurement answer, but rather a combination of data points that marketers have to use judgment and expertise to evaluate against each other. I wish it was so easy that it was an easy button and I could get the number just to spit out at the other end. My life would be a lot simpler. Addressable TV for us, we try to think about it in a platform agnostic way. It just means being able to buy TV against more defined audience segments, as digital has been able to do for a long time. Because honestly, I didn't know for a long time, because I grew up in the creative agency. We would spend literally months defining our target and our audience, like so that you could walk in her shoes. And I think it took me a long time to realize all that work, when it came over to the TV buying side, was then essentially reduced to a demographic buy with some judgment. And so I think the idea is that all of the upfront understanding that we bring to audiences can now be carried all the way through to the way the inventory is purchased. That's the hope.